friends, and welcome to both of my channels, Cook from the Past and Homestead in the Woods. And I'm kind of going in a different direction with this video because I'm looking for my viewers to join in part of this video going forward, because I think we all have something to share that we'll all find very interesting. So the subject today is my mother's recipe box. This has been in my home since I was a child, and many meals were cooked from recipes in this box. And look inside here. So this recipe box belonged to my mother. It was in the home when I was a child, as long as I can remember. And so when she passed away at the age of 85, and if she were still alive today, she would be 98. But I ended up with her recipe box, and they just don't make these anymore. You just don't see recipes in boxes like this. And it's really cool because the recipe then sits in a little slot up there and keeps it clean. Well, actually, I'm going to show you some of the recipe cards that came out of here. And if they were well loved and well used, they're not so clean. But anyway, what I want to do is have my viewers send in pictures of recipe boxes, beautiful recipe boxes that you have had handed down to you. And so I'll talk about that a little bit more, but I'm going to share what I pulled out of this box. And there's quite a few things, and I was really intrigued by what I found, because there's recipes in here that are not just in my mother's handwriting, but there's recipes from other people, including myself. My childhood handwriting is on some of these as well. I think I found two that have my handwriting on it. And here is one, my childhood chicken scratch, and it's a recipe for American pizza. Now, I actually did cook as a kid, and I can remember being 5 years old and being in the kitchen and making cakes with the best frosting, and it was so good. I can't figure out how I made it. I can't duplicate it now. So for some reason, as a 5-year-old cooking, cake making prodigy, I made some really good frosting that I don't know how to do it anymore. So anyway, it was interesting to find my own childhood handwriting on some of these cards. And here's another one. And this one is for taffy. And I do remember my sister and I getting in the kitchen and making saltwater taffy. I would never make this now. The idea of the sticky sweetness in taffy doesn't sound good to me at all. So I found a recipe, and this is a recipe for light as foam rolls. And that is in that beautiful handwriting of a lady who used to babysit for us, Gladys. That's who that came from. And I've also got a recipe here for brownie pudding, which I will be making on my Cook from the Past, because it's a very easy, delicious chocolate. But I don't recognize whose handwriting this is, but I do know as kids we had it a lot. Now here's one that I found that is very interesting, and I don't know that we ever ate this, but I'm going to try it anyway on my Cook for the Past because it's interesting, and it is in my mother's handwriting, so we must have had it at some point in time. But here it is, and it's called Shipwreck Casserole. So I'm intrigued. I'm going to have to make that one. And I was really delighted to find this recipe also handwritten. It's just on a little piece of paper, but I recognize the handwriting as being my grandmother's handwriting, and she'd be way over 100 by now. Well, she wouldn't be still alive. She'd be way over 100 years old, but I was so happy to find this. I don't really have a lot of examples of my grandmother's handwriting. And I found another one in here, and that's actually a recipe in the handwriting of my stepsister, who is up in Alaska. And this card has a recipe. It's called Bacardi, which I know is a drink, right? A rum. And it's in my dad's handwriting. My dad never cooked, but I do know he liked a cocktail every now and then. So that's what this is. So I'm really glad to have found that. And this one is in my mother's handwriting, but it is a Depression era recipe. And it's called soda cracker pie. And soda cracker pie is really just like saltines and some sugar. And I remember we ate it when I was a kid. And when you have very little money, you can still have dessert. And this was from the Depression era. There were recipes in here on pieces of binder paper. It's very fragile now. But this one is a recipe for streamlined white bread. So I'm going to have to try it. And then also in here, there were several recipes that had come out of some kind of a publication and were taped on and not in real good condition and just kind of, getting ready to give up the ghost here. But I don't remember us ever having this. It's fruited champagne punch. It's not something I will ever make, but I'll just put it came in the box and I'm just going to put it towards the back of the box. And this is an interesting one. And I don't remember eating it. I probably wouldn't have eaten it, nor would my siblings have eaten it. But there it is. And it's in the recipe box and it's called liver and bacon loaf. I can't see that as being a real favorite in our house when I was a kid. So I don't think I'll make it because it would be a waste here in my house too. Nobody would eat it. And here is a recipe that I know I made myself as a kid. And it's a cutout from a magazine, I suppose. And that's for popovers. And I have a special popover pan because I actually like them. And I used this recipe as a kid and made popovers. So I'll for sure do that one on the Cook from the Past channel. And there were also some cards that they were probably in magazines or maybe they were giveaways of some sort. And there's printing on the back. And on the back it's a recipe for macaroni cheese squares. And on the back of this card, it says, Miss Wisconsin, Marie Gifford's favorite macaroni cheese squares. So apparently she was Miss Wisconsin and Miss Universe. And there's no date on here. And she made this recipe, I guess, in collaboration with the Armour Food Company. And so I looked her up online and it was sometime in the early 1950s. And you can kind of tell by the picture on this card that is the case. So that's a fun one to have. And I did mention about the recipe cards that you knew were well loved and well used because they were a little dirty. Well, look at all of that splash and stuff on this one. So this is the first recipe I'm going to be making in this series, and it's for lemon cups. And so that will be the next video that I do. So moving forward, and I'm not going to be doing any cooking on this video, moving forward, I am going to ask my viewers if you have a special recipe box that was handed down to you, if you could share some pictures of those beautiful boxes and maybe pull out a recipe or two that you remember having made as a child, or maybe you made them yourself. But if there's a family favorite recipe or two that you have found in that box, take a picture of that too, or scan it, do whatever, and send it to me. And what I'm going to do is make some of these recipes on my cooking channel, but I'm also going to do a little slideshow of some of those really beautiful recipe boxes. So what I would like you to do, and I'll give you both emails in case you're watching this from Cook from the Past, or if you're watching it from my Homestead in the Woods channel, you can reach me by email and send the pictures of those. cookfromthepast homesteadinthewoods@gmail.com or homesteadinthewoods49721@gmail.com. And I will put those email addresses in the description down below. And I would absolutely love to see your favorite recipe boxes that were handed down to you and be able to share some of those recipes that come out of your special recipe box. So in looking at my mom's beautiful recipe box, I mean, this is an heirloom. You know, I was lucky. There were 4 of us kids still alive who were wanting this box, and I was lucky to get it. So I'm very blessed, and I will make sure that this box goes to another family when I'm gone, family member when I'm gone, so that it continues on. So in looking at my mom's, I certainly had to pull my own out, right? Not so impressive. I can't think of a single person who'd be excited about getting this box. So I need to go up my game with my recipe box. And I did find this one at a Goodwill store. And I kind of like this one. It's old and solid wood, dovetailed joints, and some nice cards inside. When I first saw it, I got so excited because I thought, oh, there's going to be some old recipes in here. I thought I'd found a real treasure. Well, there weren't. There is a nice index cards in here that looks like they never got used. It's just alphabetical. And there's also some empty cards in here. But I did find, let me see if I can pull it out here. I did find only one thing in here that had a recipe on it. Oh, where did it go here? Oh, here it is. Only one thing, and it was this. And what it says is brain yoga, cross arm stretches, Simon Says, and draw snowman on head. I don't know what to do with that, but I won't keep it. That's all that was in this box. I got so excited when I saw some writing in the, I don't think I'm interested in having that. So anyway, I'm going to end this video, but please send in the pictures of your beautiful heirloom recipe boxes that you got, and send me some of those recipes, and I will cook them on my Cook from the Past channel. I might put them on the Homestead in the Woods channel too. We'll see. But I think that would be really fun. And I would like to know who was the original owner of the recipe box. What was their name? If you had a picture of them too, that would be wonderful. I'm going to put a picture of my own mom when she was younger towards the end of this video, so that you can kind of see what she looked like in her younger days. And I think this picture that I'm going to post is one that I wasn't even born yet, but you'll see in this picture that I'm going to post that she knew how to strike a pose. And so thank you for joining me today. And I certainly look forward to getting some pictures of your heirloom recipe boxes and some of the recipes and the pictures of the ladies or men. Come on, I'm not going to exclude the guys here. Some dads and grandpas were great cooks. So please include, if there are dads and grandpas out there, please include those too. I would really love to share those as well. And so I'm going to sign off the video for now, and I really do look forward to getting some of those. And again, I'm going to post the email addresses through both channels down below in the description, and make sure you get in touch with me, and I'll be back and create a playlist with all of the different dishes that I'll be cooking from the recipe boxes. So thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.